So, Alison, good to see you again. For those who may be watching this recording later, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Steve. Lovely to see you too. It's, I think, your evening, my morning, so we're on opposite ends of the planet.
Yes, we are.
Yes, my name's Alison Lalieu. So I like to call myself Chief Vision Officer at my organization, which is Courageous Leadership Hub. We have been together for 7 years. I work closely with family members. I have now 3 children working very closely in our organization. But we lead a network of executive coaches that are actually based around Australia, New Zealand, and now scattered around the globe. We've got one in Brazil, one in Tokyo, one in South
Wow.
Africa. So we're growing, and we've grown together in a connected, learning, vibrant space of executive coaching. So we run leadership programs, very bespoke, tailored kind of approach that we have, and yet we're scalable. So that's the exciting part of our work. For me personally, I'm an executive coach. My original training was with the Neuro Leadership Institute, and very quickly I developed a passionate interest in emotional intelligence. And Steve, that's how you and I connected.
Right.
Preferred partners for the Global Emotional Intelligence Network 6 Seconds. And, I became an EQCC coach, and then I've got a passionate interest in conversational intelligence. So I got that coach hat. So you'll gather that over the years, I've kind of gathered this backpack of learning. And my passions are around change and igniting courage and curiosity for kind of more connected leadership globally. I think it was 2019, just before COVID hit. I was accepted onto Brené Brown's global training facilitator pool. So I traveled to Texas and was trained by her. So that's a hat I wear very proudly too, that I'm one of her global facilitators. And I think probably to sum it all up, Steve, I'm passionately interested in change and supporting teams, leaders, teams, and organizations to navigate what I think we'd all agree has become very difficult environment.
Right.
And so I'm constantly thinking of what's the next, what can we develop, what can we create, how can we serve to support leaders in this difficult environment. And part of that process was a new emotional intelligence report, which I authored in 2019, 18 and 19 actually, with 6 seconds, called the SEI-LTC, which I know you're familiar. The
Very, very familiar with. Yes.
Yeah.
One of my
Yeah,
very favorite reports to use. So, yeah, and I'll just do a quick introduction myself. My name is Steve Goodner. I'm an old experienced coach. I think I've been doing coaching longer than ICF has been around.
Yeah.
So I kind of grew up with a coach of my own, and my dad, who is a psychologist, learned a lot from him. And I guess the apple doesn't fall
Yeah.
far from the tree. Hard to say that.
Yeah.
But I've always enjoyed people, and so I've been using the tools of psychology for over 35 years, and really about a decade ago got into emotional intelligence. I've always been a student of neurobiology and neuroscience. I mean, that is kind of my official degree is in chemistry and biology, and I was pre-med for a period of time, but I was always fascinated by people and psychology and how do our brains work. And so when I got this deep dive about a decade ago into what I believe now to be the most impactful skill set you can learn, which is emotional intelligence. And it's proven out. And I have, as you have, Alison, with the SEI-LTC, Leading Through Change, I have created an assessment of my own with 6 seconds called the EQ Fit Sales Profile. And it's actually being used for salespeople, but also for leaders, because leaders have to influence people too. And so I'm excited to be here with you today, Alison, and just kind of share in a conversational way some of the stuff that we're seeing and what we're experiencing.